struggling to break free from a limiting mindset that's sabotaging your success. In the next 12 chapters, you'll get the exact blueprint to force unbreakable change and win big, starting today. Welcome to Audiobook World, where we deliver self-improvement masterclasses like this one. Discover 3 game changers, shatter your mental chains in Chapter 1, master micro-habits for momentum in Chapter 4, and lock in your winner's identity by Chapter. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Then use the timestamps below to jump right in. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, shadowy cliff. Below, the ocean roars with relentless fury, waves crashing like the doubts that have held you captive for years. Your old mindset, the one whispering you're not enough, that failure is your fate, pushes you toward the drop. But deep inside, a spark ignites. What if you turned around? What if you leaped not into the abyss, but toward a sunrise you've only dreamed of? This isn't just a story. It's your story, right now. And I'm here to guide you across that cliff, hand in hand, into a life of unbreakable success. Buckle up. Your transformation starts now. Chapter 1. The hidden chains of your current mindset. Imagine waking in the dead of night, heart pounding, trapped in a room with no doors. The walls close in, cold stone pressing against your skin, and you claw at them desperately, but they don't budge. That's your mind. Right now, your own prison, built brick by invisible brick from thoughts you've let fester for years. You've felt it, haven't you? That suffocating weight when dreams slip away, when every step toward change feels like wading through mud. But listen closely, because in this very moment, as my words reach you, those walls begin to crack. This is where your escape begins. Not with grand gestures or overnight miracles, but with the raw, unflinching truth, staring back from the shadows of your soul. Your current mindset isn't some unbreakable fortress. It's a fragile web of chains you've forged yourself, link by deceptive link. These chains whisper lies that sound like wisdom. You're too old to start over. Success belongs to the lucky ones, not you. Why bother when failure waits around every corner? They've wrapped around your wrists, your ankles, your very spirit, so tightly that freedom feels like a fairy tale. I know this place intimately. Years ago, I stood where you stand, staring at a life half-lived, my ambitions buried under the rubble of self-doubt. But here's the revelation that shattered my cage. These chains are not iron. They're illusions spun from repeated thoughts, and illusions dissolve when you shine light on them. Let's name them together, right here, right now. Pause if you must, but feel this. The first chain is denial. It's the voice that says, I'm fine as I am, even as your heart aches for more. Picture it as a heavy iron band across your chest, squeezing tighter with every excuse you make. The second is comparison, the thief that measures your behind the scenes against everyone else's highlight reel, leaving you small and defeated. Feel it dragging at your feet, slowing your stride. And the third, the cruelest, resignation. It settles like dust on forgotten dreams, convincing you that this is just how life is, that change is for others. Why do these chains hold such power? Because your mind craves familiarity even when it's poison. Neurologists call it the default mode network, a neural highway grooved deep by habit, preferring the familiar pain of stagnation over the unknown thrill of growth. But you are not your brain's prisoner. You are the architect. Every thought you entertain is a brick laid or a wall torn down. Consider the story of Elena, a single mother in a dead-end job, her days blurring into nights of quiet despair. She woke one morning, stared at her reflection, and whispered, "Enough." Not with fanfare, but with a simple act. She listed her chains on a scrap of paper. Fear of judgment, belief in my own inadequacy, clinging to what's safe. As she read them aloud, something shifted. The words lost their sting, exposed in the light. Within weeks, she enrolled in night classes, chains loosening with every page turned. This is the foundation of your transformation, radical acknowledgement. Without it, you're navigating blindfolded, bumping into the same walls. So, I urge you, grab something to write with. Yes, now, jot down 3 chains binding you. Be brutally honest. I sabotage opportunities because I fear success. I stay small to avoid disappointing others. Let the ink flow like blood from a wound, finally lanced. Feel the release as they spill onto the page. That's the first fracture in your prison. Science echoes this ancient wisdom. Studies from psychologists like Carol Dweck show that labeling limiting beliefs activates the prefrontal cortex, your brain's command center, overriding autopilot sabotage. But awareness alone isn't freedom. It's the key you must turn. Burn those words in your mind's eye. Watch flames lick the edges, curling them to ash, rising like smoke signals of surrender. Inhale the clarity left behind. This act rewires you at the cellular level, proving to your subconscious that change isn't abstract. It's immediate, tangible yours. I've seen it in countless lives, including my own. When I burned my list, metaphorically, then literally, in a backyard fire pit, the smoke carried away years of paralysis. What emerged was a man ready to build, not just dream. Now deepen this foundation with daily vigilance. Tomorrow morning, as sunlight touches your face, scan your thoughts like a sentinel. Catch a chain forming. I can't do this. Say it aloud, then shatter it. That's the old story. The new one begins here. Feel the vibration in your chest, the subtle power surging back. This isn't willpower, it's reclamation. Your mind, once a battlefield, becomes sacred ground. Reflect on the river that carves mountains not by force, but by persistent flow. Your awareness is that current, eroding barriers thought eternal. Emotionally, this hits hard because these chains aren't just thoughts. They're thieves of joy, robbers of potential. They've stolen mornings you could have owned, relationships you might have deepened, legacies left unwritten. But in naming them, you reclaim what's yours. Picture yourself standing taller, breath freer, eyes alight with possibility. That's not fantasy. It's the natural state beneath the rust. As we stand at this threshold, know this: you've taken the first true step. The chains weaken, rattled by your gaze, yet true liberation demands more. Unflinching self-awareness to see not just the bars, but the hand that built them. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into that mirror, uncovering stories you tell yourself that keep the prison standing. Are you ready to look? The door swings open. Walk. Chapter 2: The Power of Radical Self-Awareness. Picture a lone diver plunging into the ocean's midnight depths, flashlight cutting through inky blackness, revealing a world of shimmering secrets long hidden from the surface. That's you right now, plunging into the uncharted waters of your own mind. The beam of awareness illuminates coral reefs of truth, ancient shipwrecks of forgotten dreams, and currents pulling you toward shores you never knew existed. Feel the chill of the deep, the pressure building, the thrill of discovery. This dive isn't optional. It's the breath you take before surfacing transformed. Hold on tight, because what you uncover here will rewrite the map of your life forever. In the last chapter, we named the chains. Now we wield the light of radical self-awareness to expose the stories scripting your every move. These aren't casual tales, they're epic sagas you've narrated unconsciously, casting yourself as the tragic hero doomed to repeat the same scenes. I'm the eternal underdog, forever chasing but never catching. I'm the cautious guardian, sacrificing dreams for security. These narratives pulse through your veins, dictating choices before you even think. But awareness, it's the director's chair. From there, you rewrite the script, turning tragedy to triumph. Why does this matter so profoundly? Because your brain is a storytelling machine, weaving realities from repeated rehearsals. Neuroscientists map it in the hippocampus, where memories morph into myths that guide your future. Left unchecked, they trap you in loops of limitation, but radical awareness interrupts the reel, hitting pause on autopilot. It's not gentle introspection, it's a fierce, loving confrontation with the self you've outgrown. I remember my own dive, staring into a journal one rain-soaked evening, the page filling with "I'm not worthy of love unless I perform perfectly." The words hit like a wave, but in that raw exposure, the story cracked. What poured in? Space for a truer narrative. Let's make this real for you. Tonight, carve out sacred time, dim the lights, silence the world, sit with nothing but your breath and a blank page. Ask the questions that pierce. What role do I play in my life's drama? The victim of circumstance, the martyr for family, the rebel too broken for connection? Let answers rise unfiltered, like bubbles from the seafloor. Don't judge, witness. One man I know, Marcus, a corporate climber burning out at 35, faced his story. "I hustle endlessly to prove my absent father wrong." Naming it freed him to redefine success, not as endless striving, but balanced mastery. He quit the grind, started a coaching side hustle, and found wealth in wholeness. Deepen the practice with the mirror ritual. Dawn's first light, your ally. Stand before glass, eyes locked on your own, and declare, "Show me the stories I live by." Trace them back to origin. Childhood whispers, past wounds, cultural echoes. Feel the emotional layers peel away. That's alchemy. Psychologists term it metacognition, thinking about your thinking, and it lights up the brain's executive networks, granting command over chaos. Imagine your mind as an ancient library, dusty tomes whispering falsehoods. Awareness is the librarian, cataloging truth, burning fiction. Each session stacks evidence. That story served survival once, but now it starves my soul. Emotionally, this cuts to the core because these stories aren't neutral. They're emotional anchors, tethering you to harbors of safety amid storms of potential. They've protected you, yes, but at what cost? The promotion unspoken for fear of the villain role. The love unclaimed because heroes don't get hurt. Releasing them feels like shedding soaked clothes after a shipwreck, vulnerable, yet liberating. Visualize the anchors lifting, chains from chapter 1 dissolving further. Your ship freed to sail vast horizons. This is spiritual depth, meeting science. Ancient mystics called it self-inquiry. Modern labs prove it rewires neural pathways for resilience. Build momentum with layered inquiry. After journaling stories, interrogate their roots. When did this begin? What evidence sustains it now? What if the opposite were true? Marcus did this, uncovering his father's absence, birthed a drive masking deep loneliness. Flipping the script, "I am worthy," connected, whole. He built relationships that fueled his ventures. Your turn. Select one story tonight. Dissect it like a master surgeon, precise and compassionate. Feel the incision? That's healing beginning. Track shifts, inner awareness ledger. One column for old tales, another for emerging truths. Weekly review reveals the tide turning. This power lies in its immediacy. No waiting for enlightenment. Awareness strikes like lightning, illuminating paths in the storm. I've witnessed it ripple. A teacher, buried in "I'm just a cog," rediscovered her voice, igniting classrooms with passion. A father, chained to men don't cry, embraced vulnerability, mending family bonds, universally human. This awakens the divine spark within, reminding you, you are not the story, you are the author. As radical self-awareness floods your depths, bringing treasures to light, satisfaction blooms alongside a hunger for more. You've glimpsed the fictions, now hunt the velvet traps disguised as safety. In Chapter 3, we shatter the comfort zone myth, stepping boldly into the arena where true power forges. The ocean calls deeper. Dive. Chapter 3, Shattering the Comfort Zone Myth. Feel the silk of a spider's web tightening around you, invisible threads spun from whispers of safety, lulling you into stillness while the world races by. One step forward, and it trembles, another, and it rips apart, revealing skies you forgot existed. That's your comfort zone, not a sanctuary, but a seductive cage, velvet-lined with excuses that taste like honey, but rot your soul. You've lingered there too long, haven't you? Heart whispering rebellion, while body clings to the familiar. But right now, as these words pulse through you, the web phrase, grab the edge, tear it wide. The arena awaits, raw and roaring, where legends are born from the fire of first step. This myth you've swallowed whole. Comfort equals safety. Growth waits patiently inside cozy walls. It's a lie as old as time, peddled by fear disguised as wisdom. Comfort zones aren't protective bubbles. They're shrinking prisons, walls inching inward daily, squeezing potential into dust. Science unmasks it. Cortisol floods your system in stagnation, eroding health, while novelty sparks dopamine, forging new neural highways to strength. Spiritually, it's exile from your true self, the wild force craving expansion. I've tasted both shores, years cocooned in a stable job, soul starving, until one defiant leap into the unknown birth purpose. Shatter the myth, and you reclaim the arena as your birthright. Understand the anatomy of this trap. It masquerades as prudence. Wait till you're ready. Don't risk what you have. But readiness is a phantom. It trails action like a shadow. Picture the lotus blooming through mud, not in clean ponds, but filthy depths, where struggle polishes petals to perfection. Your growth mirrors this, messy, vital, unavoidable. Take Javier, a software engineer paralyzed by promotion fears. Comfort whispered, stay hidden, secure. He forced the breach, volunteered for a high-stakes presentation, voice shaking, palms slick. Disaster. No. Acclaim followed, unlocking doors he never knocked on. That single tear in the web snowballed into leadership, family vacations, funded by bold raises. His myth obliterated. Force the shatter with deliberate hunts for discomfort. Begin tonight. Identify one evasion, a conversation dodged, skill shelved, opportunity eyed warily. Name it, the networking event I skip. Commit aloud to yourself or another. Feel the web strain. That's power stirring. Science fuels this. Exposure therapy rewires amygdala, fear centers, turning terror to tolerance. Make it ritual, weekly discomfort doses, escalating like training weights. Cold calls to mentors, public toasts at gatherings, creative pitches rejected a dozen times. Each rip builds scar tissue of courage, your new skin unbreakable. Emotionally, this strikes at your core because comfort trades dreams for numbness, a slow death masked as peace. You've mourned chances lost to its grip, the book unwritten, love unconfessed, ventures unborn. Visualize the web dissolving now, threads snapping like brittle bones, wind rushing in, carrying scents of distant triumphs. Spirit meets flesh here. Ancient warriors entered arenas not for glory alone, but soul evolution. emerging gods among men. Modern labs confirm voluntary stress inoculates against life's tempests, birthing anti-fragile spirits. Layer in sensory anchoring to seal the shift. Before each hunt, grip an object, a stone, keychain, imbue it with intent. This is my web ripper. Post-leap, hold it again. Relive the victory rush. Brains love anchors. They fast-track pattern recognition, pulling you back to arena triumphs. Amid doubt, Javier clutched a worn coin from his grandfather. Risk boldly. Etched in memory, it became talisman, guiding leaps that redefined his legacy. Your anchor? Choose now. Feel its weight. Promise carved eternal. Reflect on the cost of myth intact. Lives half spent. Echoes of what if. Haunting twilight years. Shatter it, and arenas multiply. In boardrooms, bedrooms, communities. One woman's breach. Joining a debate club at 50. Voice quivering. Ripples, empowered daughters. Revitalized marriage. Community influence. Universal truth. Discomfort is the forge where weakness melts. Strength hammered. Pure. Hunt small to build the predator's instinct. Tomorrow's coffee? Order boldly. Strike conversation with the barista. Gym hesitant? First rep through nausea. Each micro-tier weakens the web globally. Track in a conquest journal. Date, discomfort faced. Emotion post-battle. Patterns emerge. Fears bark louder than bite. Victories compounding like interest. As the myth lies in tatters, arena dust on your boots. Exhilaration surges with a call to finer tools. You've stepped out. Now sustain with micro-habits that turn stumbles to strides. Chapter 4 beckons, seeds of unbreakable rhythm ready to plant. The web is gone. Run free. Chapter 4 Rewiring with micro-habits. Envision a single acorn, small as a whisper, tumbling into dark soil. No fanfare, no thunder. Just quiet burial. Yet seasons turn, and it erupts into an oak towering against storms. Roots gripping earth like iron vows. That's the alchemy of micro-habits. Tiny seeds you plant daily, forcing your mindset to rewire from fragile sapling to unyielding forest. You've shattered webs and named chains. Now sow these seeds. Feel the soil yield under your fingers. This is where momentum ignites, not in Herculean efforts that crumble, but in whispers of persistence that roar into revolutions. Dig in. Your empire begins with the first press. Micro-habits dismantle the overwhelm myth, proving transformation thrives in the atomic, not atomic bombs. Grand resolutions shatter like glass under reality's boot. Micros, they slip under the radar, bypassing resistance, embedding deep via the brain's basal ganglia. Habit central, automating excellence without willpower wars. Spiritually, it's sacred ritual distilled. Monks chant one bead at dawn. Pilgrims step 1 foot forward. I've lived it post-crisis, drowning in ambition's flood. I chose 2 breaths of gratitude upon waking. Simple? Yes. Life-altering? Utterly. Months later, gratitude became gravity, pulling abundance like iron to magnet. Craft yours with precision surgeon's care. Target one arena: productivity, health, creativity. Shrink to absurdity. Not meditate 20 minutes, but sit still for 30 seconds, eyes closed. Not write a book, but pen 1 sentence. Track via app or string on wrist. Tangible proof stacking like bricks. Miss? No scourge, restart with grace. This mercy forges resilience. Perfectionism poisons. Meet Lila, artist stalled by blank canvases. Were micro-sketch 1 line daily. No masterpiece pressure, lines became strokes. Strokes visions sold in galleries. From paralysis to provision compounded whisper. Deepen with cue stacking. Anchor new seeds to existing rituals. Brush teeth? Affirm I choose growth. Mid-rinse. Coffee pour. Journal one win from yesterday. Cues trigger autopilot Oriman. Neuroplasticity weaving gold threads through grey matter. Emotionally raw. This micros confront the inner child, craving instant magic, teaching patience as profound power. Visualize roots delving. Surface breezes ignored. Depths drinking steady. Lila felt silly. First weeks. Lines childish. Then shift. Joy bubbled. Confidence crested. Her canvas life repainted bold. Layer sensory ignition for unbreakable grip. Pair habit with vivid cue. Dawn micro read. Hold book's leather spine. Inhale pages musk. Repetition fuses senses to synapse. Firing habits involuntarily. Science illuminates. Hebb's law. Neurons firing together wire together. Lila scented her sketchpad with lavender. Now whiff alone sparks creation urge. Your cue, select now. Texture, aroma, sound. Bind it tight. Weekly audit, seed sprouting. Prune weaklings, nurture thrivers. Journal blooms, energy surges, doubt retreats. Synchronicities swarm. Reflect on micro's profundity. It honors your humanity, sidestepping ego's all-or-nothing traps. Culture's ancient new, Japanese Kaizen, continuous tiny betterment, rebuilt nations post-ruin. Modern labs echo, James Clear's atomic insights, validated by Habit Labs worldwide. Emotionally, micros heal the wound of past failures, proving progress piecemeal yet inevitable. Picture your neural garden, weeds of inertia choked it. Now orderly rows promise harvest. Leela's harvest. Not just art sales, but self-trust radiating to mentoring youth. Ripples eternal. Escalate wisely. Once rooted, add soil. 1 line to 3. 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Premature push-up roots. Patience harvests. Track streaks visually. Calendar X's chaining like DNA helix. Break 1. Learn not lament. My chain snapped during travel. Restart birthed unbreakable rhythm, universally resonant. Micros transcend, elder rebuilding joints step by micro-step. Youth forging discipline bead by bead. No age, station exempts this equalizer. Hunt synergy. Stack mindset micros. Morning floss, then affirm identity shift. Evening pillow prep gratitude whisper. Compounding accelerates. Week 1 inertia, month 3 mastery. Feel the tide. Subconscious bows. Old patterns evicted. Leela stacked, line then color dab. Year-end, solo exhibit. Standing ovation echoing inner victory. As micro-habits root your arena footing firm, soil enriched for greater yields, a fiercer force stirs emotions raw ore awaiting forge. Chapter 5 unveils emotional alchemy, turning inner impests to triumph's gold. Seeds planted, harvest. Chapter 5 the art of emotional alchemy. Sense the molten glow of lava surging beneath cracked earth. Raw fury contained yet pulsing with untamed force, ready to birth new land from destruction's heart. That's your emotions, not chaotic storms to flee, but sacred ore in the crucible, demanding your hands to shape them. Fear boils, anger seethes, sorrow pools deep. Left raw, they scorch your path. But alchemize them, they harden into blades of resolve. Shields of wisdom, crowns of unbreakable will. You've planted seeds and torn webs, now stoke this inner forge. Feel the heat rising through your core. This is where pain transmutes to power. Your mindset forged eternal in flames you command. Emotional alchemy redefined suffering as the philosopher's stone, turning base feelings into gold that propels success. No longer victims of mood's tyranny, you become the sovereign refiner, distilling turmoil into thrust. Neuroscience reveals the mechanism. Labeling emotions engages the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, dialing down amygdala hijacks, granting clarity amid chaos. Spiritually, it's the mystic's transmutation, shadow-integrated births, wholeness, as ancient alchemists pursued, not metal, but soul sovereignty. I walked this fire myself. Betrayal's blaze consumed my trust, leaving ash. But in the embers, I glimpsed fuel for fierce independence, birthing ventures from vulnerability's husk. Master the process through the three-breath forge. When emotion erupts, heart racing, gut twisting, whole ruled. Inhale, slow. Name it precisely. This is abandonment's bite, not annihilation. Exhale, seek the gift veiled within. It sharpens my discernment. Inhale again, claim the power. I rise wiser, boundaries forge. Precision naming alone slashes intensity by half. Per UCLA studies, freeing energy for creation. Emotionally intimate, this confronts the lie. Feelings define fate. Truth, they signal. You sculpt. Recall Thomas, salesman crumbling under rejection's weight. Each no, a dagger. He alchemized pain of loss, hones my pitch's edge. Rejections fueled refinements, quota shattered, commissions soared, from victim to virtuoso, one breath at a time. Deepen with origin tracing, unearthing or source. Anger flares, probe, does it echo childhood dismissals? Unmet needs bubbling now? Sorrow swells, is it grief for unlived potentials? Mapping roots dissolves blind reactivity, revealing patterns for permanent recast. Thomas traced rejection rage to a father's harsh critiques. Alchemizing birthed compassion for struggling clients, closing deals with empathy's fire. Visualize your emotional mine veins of fear rutile gleaming, sorrow quartz crystalline. Extract, refine, no waste. This spiritual excavation mirrors shamanic soul retrieval, reclaiming fragmented power for unified might. Anchor transmutations, sensorily for neural eternity. Post-alchemy, touch thumb to forefinger, intone ore to gold. Repetition etches the circuit. Future flares trigger instant recall. Labs confirm. Multi-sensory pairing accelerates habituation, emotions bending to will. Emotionally profound. As alchemy heals the rift between feeling and flourishing. You've wept opportunities drowned in unchecked floods, promotions rage-blocked, bonds fear fractured. Now floods channel to canyons of conquest. Thomas's anchor. Ring tap post-pitch victory. Now ring alone ignites salesman's alchemy. Legacy cascading to teams mentored. Layer intensity gradients. Begin with mild irritants. Escalate to tempests. Coffee spill. Frustration's spark ignites presence. Traffic jam. Impatience forges patience steel. Mastery emerges. Crisis met with calm command. Universal resonance. Warriors alchemized battle terror to valor. Mother's pain to nurturing fortitude. My forge tempered during loss's inferno. Grief for a dream. Imploded alchemized to this narration, touching souls like yours. Feel the shared fire. It's humanity's heritage. Emotion as evolutionary edge. Ritualize evening audits. Replay days ores. Note transmutations. Journal raw influx. Refined outflow. Power gained. Patterns illuminate recurrent fear. Deeper vein awaits. Thomas audited. Spotting self-sabotage in disguised anger. Alchemized to bold asks, tripling income. This reflection cements gains, subconscious schooled in gold-making. Spiritually, it's prayer in motion, offering raw self to higher craft, emerging divine. Contemplate the cost of unalchemized ore, leaves rusted by resentment, potentials petrified in panic. Forge instead, And emotions ally. Fear scouts dangers, anger clears obstacles, sorrow deepens empathy's wealth. One woman's crucible, divorce's deluge alchemized to empowerment, launching wellness empire blessing thousands. As your inner forge glows steady, gold stacking in soul vaults, a sharper weapon sharpens mind's eye as pre-victory forge. Chapter 6 reveals visualization. Living triumphs before breath, draws them real, flames banked, anvil awaits. Chapter 6 Visualization. Your mind's secret weapon. Behold a vast canvas stretched taut in your skull's silent gallery, blank yet humming with infinite potential, awaiting your brush to paint realities yet unborn. Stroke by stroke, colors bleed into form, crowds roaring your name, hands clasping deals sealed in triumph, body lean and electric with victory's pulse. This isn't idle dreaming, it's your mind's secret forge, pre-carving neural paths where feet will follow, forcing success from ether into earth. You've alchemized emotions, rooted habits. Now wield this weapon. Feel the brush quicken in your grip. Worlds bend to visionaries. Yours starts igniting now. Visualization isn't fantasy's fluff. It's the brain's rehearsal hall, tricking physiology into pre-lived wins. Mirror neurons fire identically in imagined feats as real ones, per fMRI scans from Stanford labs. Muscles tense, heart rates sink, confidence surges pre-action. Spiritually, it's the seer's gaze. Shamans journeyed inner realms to manifest hunts. Sages envisioned enlightenment into being. I harnessed it post-ruin. Eyes shut nightly, saw myself narrating to millions, voice steady, impact rippling. Months on, microphone in hand, the scene materialized, familiar as breathed air. Your mind doesn't distinguish vivid vision from event. It blueprints both. Mastery demands immersion, not glimpses. Carve 10 sacred minutes, dawn or dusk. Dim lights, spine straight, palms open like beggars for bounty. Build scenes sensorially lush, sights sharp, sounds crystalline, scents evocative, textures tangible, tastes sweet on tongue. Seeking promotion, see desk plaque, gleaming director. Feel leather chair cradle, hear bosses well done, smell fresh coffee steaming, taste victory's edge. Loop it thrice daily, repetition etches grooves deeper than steel. Emotionally charged, pump adrenaline, joy flooding veins. Amygdala amplifies, cementing belief. Meet aria, violinist, stalled by stage fright's vise. Visions nightly, bow gliding flawless. Footlights warm, applause crashing like waves. Rosin's tang sharp, strings humming alive under fingers. First recital, body moved as pre-moved. Nerves allies, not adversaries. Soloist contract followed. Tours bloomed. From freeze to finale, visualization's quiet conquest. Probe deeper. Why potency? Brain's reticular activating system tunes to visualized goals, spotlighting opportunities once blind. Spirit fuses here. Ancient Egyptians visualized Nile floods. For harvest, you summon inner Nile for abundance. Anchor visions with kinesthetic locks. Mid-scene peak. Clench fist tight. Associate triumphs rush to grip. Future doubts. Clench. Victory replays. Labs validate. State-dependent memory binds body to brain's theater. Aria clenched post-cadenza. Now fist alone steadies bow hand mid-performance. Layer progressions, week 1, basic scenes, week 2, obstacles surmounted, month 1, multi-angle replays. Track in vision vault, date, scene, felt intensity, real echoes. Patterns emerge, synchronicities swarm as subconscious scouts align. Emotionally seismic. This pierces the veil of impossible. You've grieved talents, dormant. Paths untrod from unseen roads. Visualization resurrects them, painting bridges over chasms of doubt. Imagine neural architects at work. Old scarcity scaffolds crumble. Triumph cathedrals rise. Universal call. Athletes like Simone Biles. Flipped vaults mentally pre-vault. Surgeons sliced flawless pre-incision. My visions healed deeper, saw not just stage, but healed voice from past cracks. Now carrying these words to you. Ritualize escalation. Pair with breath cycles. 4 in, hold 4. Visualize 4. Exhale gratitude 4. Oxygen fuels focus. Gratitude seals. Evening wind down. Replay day's micro wins visually amplified. Priming tomorrow's canvas. Aria ritualized post-concert. Magnified triumphs. Dissolve slips. Career art. Exponential. Contemplate unvisioned lives, potentials pale. Fading like unpainted murals. Weaponize your gaze. Reality bows. Hunt vividness. Amplifiers. Ambient sounds. Waves for flow states. Crackling fire for resolve. Props. Hold goal artifact. Contract paper. Trophy replica. Senses overload cements. One father's visions. Child graduating debt-free. His business thriving. Fist clench. Anchored. Sacrifices. Sustained. Diploma day. Scene exact. Tears real. As foreseen. As visualization arms your arsenal, realities pre-forged in mind's blaze. Communal steel beckons sharper. Chapter 7. Forges accountability. Allies tempering solo steel to unbreakable alloy. Canvas alive. Paint boldly. Chapter 7. The accountability forge. Hear the hammer clash on glowing steel. In a smithy's roar. Sparks flying like defiant stars. Metal yielding under relentless blows. Not breaking, but birthing blade from brittle bar. That's accountability. No longer solo wanderer in mind's wilderness, but apprentice in the forge. Allies wielding hammers that shape your raw resolve into legacy steel. You've visualized victories, alchemized tempests. Now enter this communal blaze. Feel the heat kiss your skin. Sweat of commitment beading. Excuses vaporize here. Allies, stand ready. Your metal awaits tempering. Step to the anvil. The strikes begin. Accountability transforms intention to ironclad destiny. External eyes melting internal fog, forcing consistency where willpower wavers. Psychologically, it's social commitments leverage. Prefrontal cortex sharpens under scrutiny. Per Harvard studies on public pledges, boosting follow-through threefold. Spiritually, it's tribal covenant, ancient clans survived by mutual vows, souls intertwined for collective ascent. I forged mine amid isolation's chill, declared book deadline to a stranger online. Weekly reports chained me to desk. Book birthed, voice amplified. Solo dreams dissolve, witnessed ones endure. Ignite your forge with bold declaration. Tonight, voice your summit aloud, to spouse, friend, forum, stranger. By month's end, I'll launch that side hustle, reporting weekly. Specificity binds, vagueness slips, feel vulnerability's edge. That's the flame licking impurities. Meet Kendra, teacher dreaming authorship, buried in someday. She posted goal on Writer's Circle, chapters due dates pinned public. Miss 1, gentle probes, not judgment. What blocks you? Accountability unearthed perfectionism sabotage. Book deal landed. Classrooms transformed by her tales. Deepen with mastermind circles. 3 to 5 souls aligned in ascent. Bi-weekly fireside summons. Share triumphs roar. Stumbles unvarnished. Visualize the pitch. Froze mid-call. Collective wisdom sparks. Try breath anchor from chapter 5. No hierarchy equals hammering equals neurochemistry surges. Oxytocin from trust bonds. forges loyalty to goals. Kendra's circle dissected her fears. Role-played pitches, first client signed, cascade ensued. Emotionally exposing. This stripping aloneness armor, revealing strength in shared sweat. Anchor commitments sensorily for subconscious siege. Post-declaration, snap fingers, sharp, link, sound to vows weight. Drift toward dodge. Snap, obligation reignites. Labs affirm auditory cues, bypass rationalization, firing duty circuits instant. Kendra snapped pre-writing, now cue alone seats her at keyboard, pages flowing, layer escalation, solo week 1, duo week 2, circle month 1, track forge log, pledge, ally feedback, steel gained. Patterns gleam, slips, spotlighted, become strength. Ritualize reckoning sessions, dawn review with ally call, wins, walls, evening solo audit, texting proof. Mercy tempers, harshness, progress, not perfection, the measure, spiritually profound, echoing monastic accountability, vows to brotherhood, birthed saints. Kendra ritualized, circle share, then solitary snap gratitude. Promotion followed, legacy mentoring novices, universal forge, entrepreneurs triple revenues via pods, addicts, shatter chains in groups. My circle saved ventures from vapor, brutal truths, boundless breakthroughs. Hunt, digital forges for scale, apps pledging to publics, leaderboards shaming slack, post-progress photos, metrics bare, social gravity pulls upward. One father's forge, fitness vow to son's group chat, daily weigh-ins. Roles shed, vitality reclaimed, boys inspired to their climbs, contemplate unaccountable drifts. Potentials rusted, vows whispers in wind, forge instead, hammers hone heroes, synergize with prior tools, declare micro-habits publicly, visualize under witness, alchemize, slips shared. Momentum multiplies, circle cheers, seed sprouts to oaks. Emotionally seismic, confronting isolation's lie, no soul succeeds sealed. You've mourned solo slogs, now tribe tempers triumph, as accountability's steel gleams quenched and true. Inner saboteur snarls from shadows, demanding conquest. Chapter 8 masters the critic, turning foe to fierce ally. Anvil cools, blade sharpens. Chapter 8 mastering the inner critic. Whisper in the dim corridor of your mind comes a shadow figure, hooded and hissing, dagger of doubt poised at your throat. Fool, you'll crumble again. Who are you to rise? Its voice coils like smoke from a dying fire, familiar venom burning old wounds afresh. This isn't madness, it's your inner critic, the spectral warden you've housed too long, dictating defeats from its throne of fear. But feel the dagger tremble now. As these words awaken you, grip its wrist, twist, not to silence, but to repurpose. Turn foe to fierce guardian, blade now yours to wield against illusion. The shadows recoil, your reign begins. The inner critic isn't innate enemy, it's a distorted protector, born from survival's cradle, warped by wounds into saboteur supreme. Evolution wired it for vigilance, scanning threats, whispering caution, but unchecked, it paralyzes potential, scripting not enough on every ambition's scroll. Neuroscience unmasks it. Anterior cingulate cortex hyperfires in self-judgment loops, flooding stress hormones that shrink prefrontal wisdom. Spiritually, it's the false ego's growl, mistaking smallness for safety. Exiling your divine expanse, I confronted mine mid-collapse. Voice sneering, imposter, they'll see through, mid-presentation. Flipping it birthed authenticity's fire, crowd connected, doors flung wide. Master this, and criticism catalyzes conquest. Disarm through interrogation ritual. When critic snarls, too slow, too weak, halt breath sharp. Demand. Evidence? Whose voice echoes here? Trace origins. Teachers scold. Parents sigh. Peers jabs. Exposure dissolves venom. Facts dismantle fiction. Replace not with blind cheer, but coach's query. What precise step advances? You've surmounted worse, recall. Feel the shift. Dagger dulls to tool. Meet Ronan, architect, frozen by blueprint critiques, projects stalled eternally. Interrogated his critic, father's perfectionism reborn, flipped. What one line improves this draft? Iterations flowed, award-winning designs emerged, firm founded, from stall to summit. One question pierced, deepen with proof fault construction. Digital folder or journal etched with conquests, micro and macro, nailed that call despite nerves, launched despite fear. Critic lunges, vault open, evidence avalanche buries it. Brain science affirms, cognitive reappraisal rewires default mode, swapping shame circuits for strength. Emotionally visceral, confronting the lie, your worth wavers not on critic's whim. Ronan vaulted early wins, school sketches praised, replay quelled tempests, bids won exponentially, visualize Volta's armory, critics' daggers returned blunted, your arsenal gleaming, anchor the flip kinesthetically, mid-repurpose, press tongue to roof of mouth firm, link to command reclaimed, future hisses, press, coach awakens. Studies show somatic anchors shortcut amygdala, overdrive, installing calm circuits, layer daily drills. Morning mirror decree. Critic, you serve now. Evening audit snarls flipped. Ronan's anchor, tongue press, post-pitch win. Now cue alone, steals presentations, partnerships pouring, spiritually resonant, echoing guru's self-inquiry. Befriend the demon, harness its gaze for light. Ritualize role reversal theater. Embody critic audibly. Pathetic dreamer, then counter as sage. Warrior tested, scars your proof. Absurdity disarms, ownership integrates. Emotionally profound, as mastery heals fractured self. Child, silenced now speaks sovereign. You've bled under unchecked barbs, dreams discarded, joys dimmed by unworthy. Vault and flip, resurrect radiance. Universal echo, artists mute inner sensors for masterpieces, leaders transmute feedback to fuel. Escalate to public proofing, share vulnerable drafts with trusted forge mates from Chapter 7. Critic says this flops your eyes. External mirrors refine internal. Ronan shared schematics, tweaks tripled appeal, contemplate unmastered critics. Live scripted small, echoes of should have in silence. Repurpose instead. Guardian scans smarter, propels purer. Synergize arsenal. Visualize critic tamed, pre-seen, alchemize its hiss to resolve. Micro-habit daily flips. Momentum cascades, subconscious salutes new sovereign. One mother's mastery flipped bad parent guilt to devoted learner. Bonds deepened, children thrived mirroring her grace. As inner critic kneels repurposed. Blade yours true, soil awaits fertile falls. Chapter 9 embraces failure. As fertilizer, flops feeding future blooms. Shadows banished, light commands. Chapter 9, Embracing Failure as Fertilizer. Watch a mighty oak crash in savage storm. Roots torn skyward, trunk splintered like shattered bone. Yet from its rot-strewn corpse, emerald shoots pierce soil weeks later, drinking decay to fuel fiercer ascent. That's failure, not executioner's axe, but nature's richest manure, crumbling giants to nourish greater groves. You've tamed critics, forged steel, Now plunge hands into this fertile muck. Feel the damp earth yield promise pulsing beneath. Excuses of endgame dissolve here. Every flop feeds your bloom. Harvest begins. Failure reimagined shreds the fatal myth, unveiling compost for conquest's canopy. Culturally poisoned as scarlet shame, its evolution's accelerator. Trial-error loops, birthing species supremacy. Per Darwin's labs, brainwise, post-flop dopamine dips teach adaptation. Prefrontal cortex plotting pivots, sharper than success's haze. Spiritually, its sacred soil, mystics fell into dark nights, birthing dawn, wisdom prophets, stumbled forging covenants eternal. I tasted it raw. Debut venture imploded publicly, savings ash, reputation scarred, embraced as fertilizer. Autopsy bloomed blueprint for sevenfold resurgence. Flops aren't finishes, they're foundational feed. Initiate the autopsy rite post-tumble. Pause before rebound. Query ruthlessly. What seeds sprouted? Where roots rotted? Precise tweaks for next planting. No blame, detached dissection. Journal quadrants. Mechanics mastered. Missteps mapped. Miracles noted. Mutations plotted. Science sanctifies. Failure reflection. Boosts retention. 90% per Columbia studies. Wiring wisdom permanent. Emotionally gut-wrenching. Facing I blew it, yet cathartic. Grief alchemized to growth. Meet Nora Baker's flop cascade. Recipes bombed. Shop shuttered. Debts drowning. Autopsied. Oven quirks ignored. Flavors muddled. Tweaks. Precision timers. Bold pairings. Relaunch. Michelin nod. Chain born. Rot to riches. One quadrant carved. Deepen with celebration composting. Post-autopsy. Toast the attempt audibly. Bowl digger. Soil turned. Ritual shifts neural valence. Failures from foes to friends. Visualize rot enriching. Worms weave nutrient surge. Sprouts green defiant. Nora toasted nightly. Digger saluted. Subconscious softened. Risks redoubled. Kinesthetic seal soil handful gripped. Real or cupped palm. In tone. Fertilizer absorbed. Cue future falls to frame. As feed. Labs confirm. Ritual reframing slashes cortisol 40%. Resilience rocketing. Layer weekly failure hunts. Caught small flops deliberately. Pitch wild idea. Test risky recipe. Log as fertilizer deposits. Rejection clarified ideal client. Scar tissue builds immune to impact. Boulder branches. Nora hunted. Experimental flavors weekly. Flops fed hits. Menu revolutionized. Spiritually seismic. Echoing Tao's broken pot mending gold-veined kintsugi. Flaws glorify. Emotionally profound. Healing failure defines me scar. You've shelved souls under flop's shadow. Potentials plowed under. Fertilize forward. Scars stories splendor. Ritualize communal composting. Share flops in accountability forges. Venture tanked. Here's autopsy. Witnesses witness wisdom, not weakness. Nora's circle probed. What miracle hid? Collective insight, tripled tweaks. Universal soil, titans tilled flops. Bezos's Fire Phone flop. Fertilized AWS empire. My implosion shared. Mentors mined gold. Pivots propelled. Contemplate unembraced rote. Lives barren. Regrets. Weeds choking. Fertilize gardens grandeur. Escalate to flop portfolios. Archive vivid losses. Annual review tracing bloom lines. That pitch bomb. Seeded client cascade. Patterns prophesy. Recurring rot. Root cause quests. Nora's portfolio. Early disasters. Direct to delights. Legacy lectures now. Synergize arsenal. Visualize flops as fertilizer. Pre-risk. Critic coaches autopsy, micros track tweaks. Momentum mushrooms subconscious craves calculated crashes. One elder's embrace. Retirement flop, alchemized to volunteering vigor. Community canopy. Feel the shared soil. Humanity's harvest from humility's heap. As failures fertilize your thicket thriving, endless tracks demand laying. Chapter 10. Crafts rituals, sustaining momentum's train, roots deepen. Canopy call. Chapter 10. Sustaining momentum with rituals. Imagine a sleek locomotive thundering across endless plains, steam hissing defiance at horizons, tracks laid iron true by unseen hands, night after night, propelling forward without falter or fade. That's your momentum, not fleeting spark, but perpetual engine fueled by rituals, the sacred tracks, ensuring your transformation train never derails into yesterday's dust. You've fertilized flops, tamed shadows, now lay these rails, feel the ground rumble beneath, ties clicking rhythmic promise, complacency quakes. Your perpetual motion ignites here. All aboard. The journey accelerates eternal. Rituals transmute fragile momentum to unbreakable inertia, daily anchors converting intention to automatic ascent. Neuropsychology crowns them. Basal ganglia automation bypasses willpower's fatigue. Habit loops firing 43% of actions unconsciously per Duke Labs. Spiritually their devotion spine. Temples rose on dawn prayers, empires on evening reckonings. I rebuilt post-ruin with mine. Cold shower shocks birthing I command my day. Gratitude ledger, sealing nights. Momentum snowballed, ventures vaulted. Without rituals, peaks crumble to valleys. With them, plateaus propel perpetually. Forge your dawn ritual trinity. Gratitude harvest, power embodiment, intention ignition. Rise pre-alarm, 3 breaths deep. Harvest, name 3 abundances, blooming unnoticed. Breath's gift, loved one's smile, yesterday's quiet win. Embodiment, stand wide, fists skyward, roar silent, I expand unstoppable. Ignition, declare day's North Star. Forge 3 client bonds today. Feel chest swell, circuits prime for pursuit. Emotionally anchoring, countering dawn's doubt fog. Meet Elias, engineer adrift in corporate churn. Trinity dawn, abundances unearthed, joys vain. Power posed, confidence cascade, intentions tracked triumphs, tripling, promotion propelled, patents poured. Evening seals the circuit, reflection, release, recharge, replay rails. What tracks laid true? Derailments dissected. Release, forgive slips. Lesson logged, load lightened. Recharge, body scan, limbs heavy as Earth's core, mind floating free. No screens, sanctity absolute. Eeless evening dissected, delays to dawn tweaks, released regrets, recharge deep, sleep summoned success, cycles compounded, kinesthetic lock, dawn fists clench triumph cue, evening palms press heart, ritual bridge, unbreakable, labs, Lord, consistent cues, spike neuroplasticity 60% momentum mechanized, customize rails to soul's terrain, creatives dawn walk whispers, athletes power pose preludes, parents gratitude circles, premature rigidity roots rebellion, fluidity forges fidelity, weekly audit, rituals fueling or fading, prune, plant anew, Elias audited, gratitude morphed to family shares, bonds deepened exponentially, spiritually profound, rituals weave divine rhythm, lunar cycles birth agrarian gods, solstice rites empires enduring, emotionally seismic, healing momentum's myth, You've watched sparks extinguish untended, ambitions abandoned mid-stride, rails resurrect resolve. Layer sensory sacraments. Dawn ritual scented sage, smoke. Evening lavender mist. Olfactory highways rocket retention, amygdala, allying autopilot. Elias sage scented dawn. Whiff alone awakens engine. Synergize arsenal, weave visualization mid-ignition. Alchemize evening slips. Micro-habit dawn seeds. Forge mates, affirm. Share your rails. Collective gravity grips tighter. Universal sacrament. Elders, ritual teas. Birthing wisdom wells. Youth, beatbox breaths. Stealing streets. Escalate endurance. Miss dawn. Twilight twin, no penalty. Pivot. Tracks eternal, not ego-tied. Contemplate unritualed rails. Leaves looping lost, potential stalled in stations. Elias's rails. Firm founded. Fatherhood flourished. Legacy locomotive. One widow's rituals. Garden dawn gratitudes. Twilight tales to stars. Grief greened to guidance. Village vitalized. Ritualized rupture proofing. Monthly vision realign. Rails still true to summit. Pivots preserve. Feel the perpetual hum. Subconscious salute sovereign schedule. As rituals rail your momentum relentless. Ripples stir beyond self-walls. Chapter 11 unleashes changed thinking's tsunami. Transforming worlds through yours. Engine roars. Tracks eternal. Chapter 11 the ripple effect of changed thinking. Witness a single pebble plunged into still pond, ripples racing outward in ever-widening rings, lapping distant shores, stirring ducks to flight, fish to frenzy, until the entire basin pulses alive with one stone's silent command. That's your transformed mindset, not contained conquest, but tsunami of influence crashing through family hearths, office corridors, community veins, reshaping worlds in your wake. You've railed rituals, fertilized falls, now unleash this cascade. Feel the water tremble at your touch. Isolation ends, your pebble drops, ripples rise relentless. Changed thinking's ripple redefines success beyond self, birthing collective elevation from personal ascent. Quantum entanglement whispers it. One particle's spin alters its twin across voids. Psychologically, mirror neurons mimic mindsets. Your resolve radiates, infecting environments with possibility. Spiritually, its karmas weave. Inner light refracts outward, illuminating shadowed K. I ignited mine post-pivot. Shared micro-habit dawn with sibling. Watched her stall shatter. Career cascade. One mindset's shift snowballed sibling synergy. Family fortunes flipped. Solitary winds whisper. Ripples roar revolution. Amplify through exemplar embodiment. Live tools, visibly, narrating process aloud. Morning ritual, watch me harvest gratitude. Your turn tomorrow, post-flop autopsy. Here's my fertilizer from yesterday's fumble. Subtle modeling imprints children mimic, colleagues copy, strangers sync, neuroscience nods. Observed behaviors. Hijack observers' basal ganglia, automating adoption. Emotionally magnetic, countering change isolates lie. Meet Sophia, nurse drained by ward woes. Embodied alchemized shifts. Patient complaint, ore to gold. Team caught ripples, morale surged. Retention rocketed, hospital honored. Her pond, entire floor transformed. Deepen with intentional infection. Select 3 ripple targets. Spouse adrift, mentee meandering, neighbor numb. Weekly, 1 tool gifted. Try my critic flip evidence first. No preach, pure demonstration. Track transmissions in ripple ledger. Target, tool shared, waves witnessed. Sophia ledgered, aid with visualization, patient with breathforge. Aid promoted, patient healed faster. Ripples, reciprocal. Kinesthetic cue, post-share, ripple fingers outward from chest. Link generosity to expansion. Labs confirm prosocial acts, spike, oxytocin floods, bonding broadcaster to broadcast. Layer narrative sharing. Evening firesides or forums, recount raw journeys. Chains named in Chapter 1, freed my stride. Vulnerability virals, listeners lean in, light bulbs blaze. Spiritually sacred, echoing guru lineages. One enlightened master's gaze awakened disciples en masse. Sophia's tales, nurses' night shifts swapped gripe for growth circles. Burnout banished. Emotionally profound, healing success, selfish scar. You've dimmed lights, fearing envy, withheld wisdom, guarding scarcity. Ripples reclaim radiance, abundance amplified. Ritualize ripple audits, monthly map, whose ponds stirred. Adjustments amplify, shy shares escalate to workshops. Sophia audited, family first, then staff seminars, wellness wing birthed. Universal cascade, teachers' mindset shift, rippled to wrapped classrooms. Generations graduated greater. Fathers' rituals echoed in sons' empires. My sibling share, business collab, communities coached. Contemplate, unrippled ponds. Potential stagnant, legacies, lakes untouching. Drop, pebbles, ecosystems evolve. Synergize, full arsenal. Declare ripples in accountability forges. Visualize cascading impacts. Micro-habit daily shares. Momentum multiplies, manifold, subconscious scouts. Synergy, one elder's ripples. Ritual dawn shared village-wide, youth uprising from slumber. Feel the shared surge, humanity hungers ripple leaders. Escalate to legacy launches. Codify toolkit, my 11 ripples to reign, digital download or workshop free. Sophia's Nursing Mindset Manifesto, global nurses nodding, pond to ocean as ripples race horizon bound, cresting infinite. Core identity crystallizes final. Chapter 12, locks your new sovereign self. Journey's crown, pebble plunged, world wave. Chapter 12, locking in your new identity. Stand before a towering mirror in dawn's first glow. Reflection sharpening from blurred shadow to radiant sovereign. Eyes fierce with forged fire. Posture unyielding as ancient oaks. Every scar a medal etched in light. This isn't mere image. It's your new identity crystallizing. The adapter who alchemizes storms. The succeeder who turns soil to summits, claiming throne over the timid ghost you once housed. You've rippled worlds, railed rituals, now seal this self eternal. Feel the glass hum with recognition, old masks shatter. The crown descends. Wear it. Your reign is now. New identity isn't adopted costume. It's forged core, overwriting neural scripts through relentless embodiment, till subconscious salutes the sovereign. Identity precedes action. Psychology's Pygmalion effect. Believe I am leader, and strides lengthen, voices command. Opportunities orbit. Spiritually, its soul's true name reclaimed. Prodigal returns, divine essence, unveiled. I locked mine mid-wilderness, whispered narrator of nations daily, till microphone felt native as breath. Ventures voiced, lives lit. Fleeting mindset shifts evaporate. Identities endure empires. Initiate the identity decree ritual, dawn and dusk. Eyes locked, mirror deep. Declare threefold. I am the chain breaker. Vision weaver, ripple king. Voice vibrato, chest open, fists heart pressed. Feel resonance, ripple bones, circuits rewire, self-talk shapes, self-concept per mirror neuron cascades. Emotionally seismic, slaying imposter phantom, haunting high achievers. Meet Theo, salesman cycling slumps, identity struggler, decreed connector supreme, posture shifted, closes cascaded, team captain crowned, mirror mornings melted mediocrity, commissions crested continents, deepen with evidence embodiment, dawn, decree, dawn, identity garb, crisp shirt for executive, sneakers for marathon mind, props prime physiology, labs show clothing alters cognition, power poses, spike testosterone, act as if till is installs, pitch as sector titan, parent as legacy architect, Theo suited connector, calls, confidence clothed him, clients converged, kinesthetic crown, decree peak, crown hands atop head, link sovereignty somatic, future doubts, crown identity ignites, layer identity audits weekly, ledger, as whom did I act, evidence of rain, gaps, micro decrees bridge, struggled, sovereign learns, patterns prophesy, permanence, slips shrink, sovereignty surges, spiritually sacred, echoing baptismal vows, die to old, rise, renew. Theo audited, struggler slips faded, connector, commanded boardrooms, emotionally profound, healing fractured self-worth. You've betrayed bold selves for safe shells, potentials imprisoned in not yet. Identity unlocks infinity. Ritualize public proclamations. Accountability forges, witness decrees. Today I embody ripple queen. External echoes, etch, internal, eternal. Theo proclaimed sales huddles. Connectors unite. Culture shifted. Quotas quartered. Universal sacrament. Warriors donned armor identities pre-battle. Victors emerged. My decrees shared. Audience mirrors my reign. Collective crowns. Contemplate unclaimed identities. Lives leased to lesser selves. Legacies whispers. Lock yours, thrones await takers. Synergize full forge. Visualize crown self. Alchemize identity doubts. Ritual rails decree dawn. Flops fertilizer for fiercer crowns. Micro habits embody one sovereign stride hourly. Momentum manifests monarch. One mother's lock. Nurturer eternal decreed. Family flourished. Village volunteered her wisdom. Escalate to legacy lettering. Pen open letter to future self. Crown worn. Ripples raged. Seal, reread yearly. Theo's letter. Fueled firm sail. Freedoms funded. Feel the eternal echo. Subconscious seals. Sovereign. You've journeyed cliff to crown. Chains to cascades. This identity? Your unbreakable essence.